This is That Grape Juice, and I'm Letitia Lee, and it's a pleasure to speak to the super talented, Tony Award winning, Emmy Award winning Courtney B. Vance. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, Miss Letitia. Thank you so much.
So we spoke to Aunjanue Ellis last year when she was doing press for King Richard, and she was getting us hyped for 61st Street. So we've been waiting for this. And can I just say, 61st Street isn't out yet, and it's already won an award at South by Southwest. So huge congrats.
Thank you so much. Wow, very exciting.
61st Street is gripping with tension from the trailer, and it doesn't let up. Can you tell us a bit more about this crime drama story and your character, Franklin Roberts?
Well, the story is basically about a man who thinks his career is because he was a public defender, and he's 2 weeks from retiring, and he asks his wife, "Have I really done anything? Have I made made a difference?" And she says, "Baby, the system is going to go on with or without you. You did the best you could. It's time to move on. Let's go." And he was ready. He had his little pity party, and he was ready to shift gears and let her move into the forefront, and he come back home and take care of their 16-year-old autistic son, and life happened. I think the whole community knew that this young man, Moses, was a young man unlike any other in the community, and that there's no way that everyone knew he was untouchable. Both gangs knew. And so when Aunjanue's character, my wife, says that, Martha says that, they're looking for him for killing a police officer. I said, no. That was my line in the sand. That was Franklin's line in the sand. And he was willing to let everything go to save this young man, because he knew that no one else had that kind of passion in the legal profession or in and around Chicago. And he had to do this. And it was going to cost him everything. And he knew that. And it did cost him everything.
Yeah, I was researching the story, and my first thought was, is this based on a true story? Because it felt so real, it felt so emotional, and you really get caught up in the characters and just wanting Moses to be okay, because he's a really good kid with high ambitions, And Franklin, he's an ideal legal protector for Moses. You see that he's a passionate public defender, seeing him as a father to an autistic son, you see that care inside. Did you want to bring any extra layers to the character based on your experience in past similar roles in the legal profession?
The role was very well written. I by virtue of the fact that it's me, it will be different. One of my favorite directors, Mr. Jerry Zaks, told me years ago when I was doing 6 Degrees of Separation, rehearsing it and getting ready for it, and I was trying to make each line different and unique. He said, "Courtney, just say it. Get to the end of the line. By virtue of the fact that you're saying it as opposed to me or anyone else, it'll be different. Stop that. Just get to the end of the line. Just serve the purpose, serve the role. And by virtue of it being you, it'll be different." I didn't have to try to bring anything unique. The character was unique in and of himself. It was written that way. So by virtue of the fact that it's me, Courtney, doing this unique role, it will be unique. Everything I'll say will be unique.
Yeah, you absolutely shone in this role. And speaking about the team, 61st Street has crime drama, Chicago, excellence written all over it. Peter Moffat as creator, writer, exec producer, we know from Criminal Justice and Silk. Alana Mayo from Selma, J. David Shanks, The Shy, Michael B. Jordan, exec producer, and bringing his skills from Just Mercy, yourself leading a very talented ensemble. Can you tell us about the inception story and how this incredible team came together to make 61st Street?
Well, I wasn't involved in I've just recently heard how Lana Mayo and Peter Moffat and David Shanks all came together. But it started with Peter, of course, and an idea that someone, he was at a hotel or something, and the concierge told him to go he was looking to go for a run, and the concierge told him to go up to the lake and get on Lakeshore Drive. There's a pathway there that goes all along the lake. But he says, when you go up there, don't go to the right. when you hit the lake, go to the left, don't go to the right. And he thought he was doing him a favor by telling him not to go to the south side. That's where the right, if you go to the right, you're going to go to where the black folks are. But he did him a favor. He really did do him a favor. And that's where the movie came from. And he was brilliant and smart enough to know that he needed to partner up with folks to teach him about the south side and to give him entree. And so Alana Mayo was brought in, David Shanks was brought in, and the Michael B, of course, from with Alana, and then the writing room that Alana and David crafted was deeply representative of the diaspora. So, you know, it always comes from, you know, the collaboration. If you want it to be good, it has to be collaborative. It can't be one person's thing. It may start that way, but in order for it to happen, many people have to be involved. So I'm just grateful that they found me, and I was tapped on the shoulder to lead the charge, and that I was ready.
Yeah, and we can see that. And I remember that line that Franklin delivered to the judge in the opening scene. You know, Judge, where do you go when you get to the lake? Do you go to the right or to the left? And that's a really interesting story. And so why do you think, I mean, this leads off well to the next question, why do you think Chicago is an ideal setting for this story?
Because it's a super segregated city, like Detroit, like Kansas City, like St. Louis. It has its unique problems, and which makes for this kind of layered story to take place in. And it's a gorgeous city. It's the star of the city, of course, is that lake. You know, the architecture is so, you know, impactful. I'm from Detroit, but Detroit, because it's a car town, you know, you get a new car every 2 years. So Detroit's, those who are from Detroit used to call it destroy it, because we tear things down. We don't rehab things and take buildings and turn them into something else. We're trying to do that now, but there's so many that we've lost because we didn't have that mentality. So when you tear the buildings down, you lose the character of the city. I remember there was a gorgeous old store like Macy's called Hudson's. It was huge, and they tore it down and did what with it? I think it was just nothing there parking lot for years. But you know, but the Chicago is the ideal city for this story.
It suits the story really well, and you can see that through the, you know, the grading of it, through the character choices and the gangs and the police. So I wanted to ask you quickly about the music. You've got Raphael Sadiq and Laura Cartman as music supervisors. What do you think that they brought to the score? I had a bit of Donny Hathaway in there as well.
I wasn't involved in the music choices at all, and I've seen 3 of them. I don't think I'm still looking forward to seeing, you know, the rest of the first season. I know what we shot, but it's so beautiful to let it wash over me. I can't wait. But the music, music is such a part of any project too. We take it for granted that, you know, it's just always there. It's not. You know, it's like the production design, it's like the costumes, it's like the lighting, it's like the makeup and the hair. It has to be decided. It has to be talked about. And, you know, what about this or this? You know, it's a very, very subtle thing to make each of the moments work musically. And so much so that we don't even notice it. And then we just find ourselves, yeah, that soundtrack was really good. Do you remember the soundtrack from the Shaft? You know, that soundtrack, yeah, and that, you know, Curtis Mayfield, and, you know, it just becomes, you know, when the perfect person is matched up with the perfect vehicle, the perfect movie, and all of a sudden, boom, The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola fought tooth and nail for that Italian gentleman to do the music for, and the studio wanted someone else. So it's always a fight. It's always a fight. But these folks who made the decisions for the music. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
They captured the emotion well. And last question, what's next for you?
Our production company, Bassett Vance Productions, my wife and I, Angela Bassett, we're really focused on because we can't really say the things that are specifically the things that are happening, but our production company is really focused on bringing great projects that focus on the diaspora, focus on stories that lift us up and give a full sense of what African American life is like. We're excited about that, and in the next couple of weeks we may be able to pop the first one. So we're very excited.
Okay, well, we can't wait to hear more. So we're going to look out for what's happening with your production company. Well, Mr. Vance, it was an absolute pleasure, and it was lovely to chat with you. 61st Street. Can't wait to see the rest of the episodes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Letitia. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.